Hey folks, Gutsy here bringing you day 2 recap of TI8. It was a less eventful day compared to day 1, which is to be expected. You had VGJ Storm versus OG. VGJ Storm actually, game 1 was looking very convincing, but then OG just got the better of them with the late game PL. And after that, it seemed like VGJ Storm lost their mojo, so OG 2-0s that match. Then you had EG versus Secret. Same thing. Secret, they looked very Actually, both games though, Secret looked very convincing. It was just the one time they made a mistake, they stuck around too long after getting Iraqs, and they got kind of wiped, so they all had to buy back, which just put them at a natural disadvantage. Whereas what they should have did was reset completely, and then just repeat the same thing, and they probably would have won at least one game, guaranteed. So a lot of teams kind of throwing, but at this event, there's stress and everything, so it's to be expected. No one's going to be perfect. Sumail did amazing on his Alchemist, which was, or sorry, not his Alch, his Gyro. His Gyro game was really, really freaking amazing. He just knocked it out of the park. Blink on gyro, stuff like that. Arteezy was kind of, I wouldn't say feeding, but he was like, it almost looked like he was throwing at times. He's just getting picked off a lot. S4 kind of also. So Sumail did a lot of heavy lifting in those games, and it showed. MVP. He was MVP and stuff. So Crit also had some decent swaps, except for the one game where Secret almost won after getting the racks. He kind of wasn't in the right position for a swap in that game as Venge. But that was a very awesome series to watch. I was rooting for Secret, mostly because Sumail just showed us how greedy he is, and I hate greedy people. But yeah, it was very, very entertaining series. Optic versus Serenity. Optic was expected to win. PPD is known as the China Slayer, and Team Serenity isn't a very established Chinese team, so they obviously lost. Very convincing for Optic Gaming. And it was nice. There's a lot of different picks, like Spectre. Well, I mean, Spectre's not different, but we've seen Spectre a little less on the main stage, so it's kind of neat to see Spectre. But your typical Ursas and stuff. And then Virtus Pro versus Mineski. That was really weird, because Virtus Pro, you could tell that they were playing a different style, because normally they're just straight up aggressive and everything, and it pretty much always works. But in this scenario, Virtus Pro, I think from losing against LGD, they were playing more cautiously. It's almost like playing on a back foot for them, but it was a more safe approach to guarantee them a win. They did get picked off for it a few times, but they were okay with that. And Mineski actually nearly got the first game off of them because of this playstyle, because Mineski's a very aggressive team too. Virtus Pro and Mineski, I think, are like two similar teams, just from different regions. They're just very aggressive, and Mineski kind of kept their aggression, but it kind of showed why Virtus Pro taking a step back, being a little more cautious, paid off, because they just got the perfect team fight where it was intense. There was like 10 buybacks, and it was just like a solid 3 minutes of fighting. It was awesome. But Virtus Pro came out on top, mostly because no one on his Invoker had, I think it was like a 3-man Invoker combo, followed up by the Tree ult into the 3-man with the Vengeance Scream. So it was pretty sick. And yeah, it was a good day. But I'm really looking forward to today. I'm actually doing this re-entry blog on the next day, day 3, just before it starts. OG EG is probably going to be the highlight match of the day, just because of the kind of the rivalry going on there. I think everyone's expecting EG to win, but if OG wins, I mean, that'll be pretty awesome. It'll be like the perfect revenge story, because flying them, they left the last team kind of. I mean, you take offers, right? I'm sure EG whipped out the offer, and Fly, OG wasn't doing too hot, so Fly and S4 took the opportunity. I don't blame them, but it's just really bad timing. It's more of a shitty thing for the EG organization to do, but They wanted to get right on top of it. They got S4 and Fly, and now No Tail is he's got a decent team. It's pretty good. So he's in it for revenge. I really hope OG wins. I hope Secret won yesterday, but I think EG is gonna win this. And then Liquid LGD, uh, probably that's I honestly I don't even want to say. Everyone's obviously rooting for Liquid, but I mean, like I said, I'm hoping LGD goes the whole way. I think they have a very good chance of because Liquid can sometimes struggle with the top tier Chinese teams, and LGD is definitely one of those. So we'll see what happens. Other things to mention of day two, I love the late game. They did a late game thing with Arteezy and Blitz. That was really cool. Props to Arteezy. And Arteezy actually, he's kind of changed my opinion, at least from a formal perspective of how I viewed him. He did the Sir Action Slack skit of Vancouver, where they went to his old cafe and his favorite place to eat during high school. That was just really warm. I guarantee you it wasn't Arteezy's idea. It was definitely Valve's, but it was just a really nice thing to put in. And then they had the other little skits, like Virtus Pro and that bear. I forget what his name was, but that was pretty funny. A lot of people thought that was cringe. I thought that was hilarious. Who knows? Maybe Bulldog or Dendy is going to come out of that bear or something. I have no idea. There's expected to be some surprises coming up soon. They had the Gabe and Announcer pack, which was pretty neat. I don't have a Goipendium, though, so I won't be getting that, but that looks pretty sick for people that are getting it. And yeah, that's the day one recap. If there's anything else I forget, I'll add it in the description. But so far, it seems pretty... Oh, and KP on the panel. That was really cool. There is one thing I probably should mention. A lot of people, they weren't a fan of King RD because his English was poor, but it looked like you can't expect much from Twitch chat. But a lot of people, it seems like, aren't a fan of March now all of a sudden. They were fine on day one, but day two, they're not a fan. It's like King RD's gone, so March is the next person to pick on. But, March's English is definitely not the greatest, but you could follow it. It's not impossible to follow. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's saying basic stuff. Not really. Some of the stuff he says is it has depth to it. So hopefully they still keep March on the panel for today. I'm going to stop myself there, though. Anything else will be in the description. And I look forward to doing the day 3 recap tomorrow.